The Augusta, Georgia Land Bank Authority, established in 1996, is a public entity dedicated to revitalizing Augusta's neighborhoods by acquiring tax-delinquent and abandoned properties and returning them to productive use. Acting on behalf of Augusta Richmond County, the Land Bank encourages private investment in blighted areas of the community or areas with a demonstrated need for economic development. Committed to helping Augusta realize its full potential, the work of the Land Bank and its partners assures that the execution of land use redevelopment results in increased revenues to the city of Augusta, responsible and sustainable growth of Augusta that elevates all neighborhoods, focused development that strives to provide safe, enjoyable, and vibrant living wage housing opportunities to Augusta residents, and newfound or redefined quality of life opportunities for all residents, businesses, and visitors of the county at large. The Augusta, Georgia Land Bank Authority has the following priorities for the use of land bank properties. Number 1, neighborhood revitalization. Number 2, living wage housing. Number 3, economic development. And number 4, conservation. The Augusta Land Bank has had the privilege of working with several developers. Today, you'll hear from a few of them and see some of the projects they've completed with the Land Bank's help. First, we have Dontavius Schultz of CD Capital Investment. Dontavius started with the Land Bank in 2021 on Sherman Street, an area of Augusta experiencing extreme levels of blight and dilapidation. Since then, with the help of the Augusta Land Bank, CD Capital Investment has transformed Sherman Street. Here's Mr. Schultz to speak more about his work in the Laney Walker, Bethlehem area.
My name is Dante Schultz. I am the manager and CEO of CD Capital Investment Groups. And the development you see behind me is Sherman. Sherman Street was a collaborative effort between CD Capital Investment Group and the Land Bank Authority in their efforts to battle blight in the Laney, Bethlehem, Walker area. This relationship started with this initial acquisition. Tax Commissioner Chris Johnson and Land Bank Director Sean Edwards pitched this development to us as it was near the Twig Circle development and being the next phase of development for the Laney, Bethlehem, Walker area. Initially, when we got the area, there were 7 dilapidated structures here, overgrown yards, trees down, and in our initial efforts was to clean up. Our initial groundbreaking coincided with the signing of the blight ordinance for the Laney, Bethlehem, Walker area. And at that groundbreaking, we broke ground and demolished 7 structures. Those 7 structures left us with 13 clear lots. And over the course of 4 years, we worked hand in hand with the Land Bank Authority, Housing Community Development to develop this area, to get everything back on the tax market and to redevelop a once blighted area.
This is video of crews working through the rain today to start this work on Sherman and Maple Streets, right in the heart of the Bethlehem community.
That's where we find News 12's Will Rio. He's live for us. And Will, walk us through the city's plan for that area behind you.
Well, Richard, this house right here is on the list for demolition, and it'll soon not look like this, obviously, because it will be it will be part of the demolition. But right down at the front of the street here on Sherman Street, they plan to build 4 houses, and they have hopes that this will spread into the neighborhood here. Community officials and city leaders say that they're hoping that this will turn around our communities here in Augusta.
For decades,
it's been awful.
The city has been working to fight blight in Augusta.
I mean, we had dilapidated houses for years, all the ills you can think of in the community. I'm excited, elated to see this coming, and I tell you, it's highly appreciative.
Safer is the key that city officials needed to unlock the door to a better community.
It's a priority of ours, and you're going to start seeing some change. I mean, today we're knocking down the first blighted property in this neighborhood in over 20 years, and that means something.
Commissioner Johnson says this is just the beginning to bring more retail and housing to the area once it's redeveloped.
And I know that demolition is just huge relief for those neighbors. Will, thanks very much for the update there.
Sean took us to the Security Exchange Bank. We talked Habitat for Humanity. We talked to federal entities about government funding, and all in all, he ended up getting me. The final meeting that we had was with Housing Community Development, and that was the marriage or partnership that made this development jump off the way it needed. Those type of efforts made this possible. Because initially we got the lots, we thought we were going to be able to go get institutional funding, hit the ground running, make money, and the world was our oyster. That was not the case. It took about a year to get that partnership with Housing Community Development. And once we did, we strategically used that partnership to set our comps in this area, so that once after 1, 2, possibly 3 builds, the area will be stabilized enough to create profit for private development. Because we all know the city can do what they do, but the problem with that is the city is not for profit. They're for doors. They're for agendas. They have to make doors. They have to have houses. So they're not into it to stabilize the market more so than have a door. And what this allowed us to do was create a market to where private developers could come in and start to buy up these blighted lots and dilapidated lots and houses and build new construction. That's what happened here. This is a young man, because I didn't build this blue. It's not any of my records, but he's a testament to what I'm saying. He came in and he saw what was going on, and he took his private money, built a new structure, sold it to a first-time homeowner family, and he's doing these things on the next street and the next street. But those are the things, those were the visions that myself, Chris, Sean, and my business partners had when we started this. Like, we're not going to be able to build it all, but if we get it started and stabilize the market, then this area develops the way it's supposed to. And I think hand in hand with government agenda and private agenda, we were able to make this happen. It was not easy. It was hard fought, but we steadfast and we planned, and we used the resources available to make this happen. So we're here at 26 Sherman. 26 Sherman is our first fully private build within the Sherman Street development. 26 Sherman is a product of our ability to use government entities in collaboration to stabilize the market in order to build for private development. So 26 Sherman is our first testament to showing that our partnerships with the city and the land bank could lead to a stability of an area to where private development can take place. 26 Sherman is for sale right now. It's been on the market for about 2 months. It is a 3-bed, 2.5 bath elevation, single car garage, oversized mudroom. We'll get a tour of it later. This is the first private build that we did solo as a company after our city partnerships allowed us to stabilize the area and to build. Modern finish. We didn't cut corners. We did Hardy boards on the side. As you see, I poured them 30-something or 100-something square foot front porch. Inside, ceiling fans, 10-foot ceilings, electric fireplace, tiled in. Extra space for this is living, this is dining, this is the half bath for guests. This is extra storage for this big family, first time family. We went granite shaker cabinets with a slate gray finish. Top of the line Samsung appliances, dishwasher, stove, microwave, refrigerator, dual door included with water and ice maker, garbage disposal, oversized garden sink, modern handles, the glass through the back door. I'll show you the back. The back we poured about a 150 square foot pad for people to be able to put their grills, their outdoor chairs. We're going to fence off the back. We just haven't gotten around to it. And then in here, this was something that I added to the plan because in the house we have an oversized mudroom, and I'm like, this is something that I don't think people have a lot of. People in this area specifically don't have washer and dryer hookups. Mm-hmm. So what we did was we extended this area, shortened the garage a little bit, and we made it to where this area, your washer and dryer, they can stack shelves, they can hang the hooks and be able to decompress before they get into their house and have a specific oversized area to handle their laundry needs. And then, we got a single car garage with a window. And then in the garage, we also have an oversized, all of this for more storage space. But this is garage will allow for one car plus stuff on the side if you have it, which I think is very necessary in this area. Like, garages are nuanced. You don't see people with garages. Most people are just building and they build a dry pad. We have 3 rooms upstairs. All of the rooms are large. I was going for the right type of feel in I would not want a house where I couldn't at least fit a queen bed or a king. This is the master. Has an oversized closet. Has granite vanity, shaker, dual, and a tile shower. This model does not have the tub shower combo, but originally when they were putting the master in, they were doing a 1 unit, and I didn't like that. I'm like, for the master, man, tile it in, but he said we didn't have space for a tub. I said, well, they're just gonna have a shower. But that looks better than that plastic one piece, at least for the master. This is the second full bath here. And you see we got storage here, storage there. That's the attic. Then we tiled in all the bathrooms. Nice vanity. This is a slated marble. And even on our fixtures, right? We didn't go with traditional shower fixtures, right? Like this pours out waterfall. You got your jet for, getting to other places. Rainfall, shower head. It's just a step above what people are doing here. And each of these bedrooms are 12 by 10, so they easily fit a king size bed. Or, if you have kids, you want to bump bed with them a little extra room, you'll have it. Ceiling fans in all the rooms, LED lighting. My builders, they pick these fancy finishes on these lights. I like them.
Nice.
I think just in the affordable housing market that I've seen in Augusta, I think these are just some of the best finishes I've seen. And I'm redoing that elevation across the street on lot 36 because I got tired of trying to tell people how good it looked. So I was like, let me just build one more so people can see, because the plan is for these 3 to hold as models.
Yeah.
And we build the next for a customer. That way they can pick their side and they can pick their countertop, the color of their cabinets, the color of their floors, what side they want the garage on, things of that nature. You kind of add, I seen that done in where I'm from. That's kind of how my parents got their house, but it was a model home, so I'm kind of trying to mimic that in a sense. So my journey in Augusta has been long-winded and hard-fought. And I cannot and I will not proceed without applauding the efforts of the land bank, specifically Tax Commissioner Chris Johnson and Sean Edwards. They held my hand through a lot of this. They remained steadfast on this project to show what government entity and private development can do. And in anyone else's efforts to build in Augusta, I would say that the land bank is the way to go. But understand that it will be a marathon to the finish line, not a sprint. This is not something that you're going to jump into and get institutional funding from, because most of the land is in an area that requires infill construction, which means your area is not going to support new builds for high prices. You're going to have to stabilize the area, and you're going to have to build that area, and then you're going to be able to make you some money. But I would for sure recommend the land bank to anyone that is coming to the specifically Laney Walker Bethlehem area in order to build and redevelop. But understand that is what you will be doing. You will be building for redevelopment. You won't be building for what the term now is gentrification. The plan here is to have these same people living just in better circumstances, not to rid them of where they were, get them out of the area or displace them. It's to just make what was once a thriving area that again. I just wanted to say some words to everybody at the land bank, Sean, Tax Commissioner Chris Johnson. I just want to say thank you. This was not easy, and it was hard fought on everybody's front. And I appreciate the patience you guys showed. I appreciate the efforts you guys gave to making sure that I can make the vision come alive here on Sherman Street. We went from sitting here looking at dilapidated structures to looking at 6 brand new homes under construction or having constructed and being sold to single family. I mean, it doesn't get really any better or clearer than that as far as a perfect partnership between private and city. I'm humbled and thankful for the opportunity that you guys gave me, and I hope I, just continue to make the vision, come alive. And I'm just overly grateful and appreciative, and thank you guys so much, and keep up the good work.
Since 2020, the Land Bank has added more than $200,000 back to the City of Augusta's tax roll. This doesn't even include the dozens of properties sold by the Land Bank in 2024. Meet Christopher Oyenuga of Huntington Estates and Huntington Construction, LLC. Christopher is a longtime friend of the Augusta Land Bank, and this is what he has to say about his partnership with us.
Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Chris Oyenuga with Huntington Construction. I just wanted to give you a quick walkthrough of one of our latest projects, downtown Augusta. Hey, how's it going, guys? I just wanted to show you one of our new construction projects in downtown Augusta. I just want to show you there's a lot of opportunities down here with a lot of vacant lots, blight, and opportunities to build new houses. So if you're looking to get into development, one way that you can do it is partner with the Land Bank. So you can go to the Land Bank. They have monthly meetings and see what they have for options to buy, and team up with a developer and builder and start building yourself. So if you're looking to work with the Land Bank, you can reach out to them, and they can give you a list of the properties as well as show you the areas and how to go through the process. Pretty easy process. You pick out the property, and then you can go down to the meeting they have monthly. It'll be approved, and then go through with the rest of the paperwork for the application and purchase the land. Hey guys, it's Chris Oyenuga from Huntington Construction Group, and we're over here at one of our latest new builds in downtown Augusta, Georgia. I just wanted to show you where we are in the project and kind of take a look ahead so you can visualize what's coming up for the next phases. So where we're at essentially now is the concrete foundation. So we'll be pouring that this week and starting up with framing. So essentially here's our front porch. This will be a covered porch with an entry over here. So we'll have a large iron metal door here. So here'll be an entrance. Essentially you walk into here. This will be your living room area. And then there'll be a set of stairs over here. So it's a 2-story home. The stairs are located on the left side. So that's why we have that reinforcement there to support the foundation. So after your living room, you'll be over here in your dining room. So here's an open concept from the front to back. Your dining room area kind of flows like a shotgun style house. Over here, you'll have a half bath. So it's basically a pantry, powder room, where you have one vanity and one toilet. So over here, this will be leading into your kitchen area, where that conduit is. That's the island, and you'll have all of your cabinets against that wall. Fridge will be over here and stove, and then your sink will be over there with a window.
We'd love to hear from leaders like Mr. Oyenuga who increase the value of neighborhoods in our community. Through sales, the Augusta Land Bank has increased property values by over $4 million. We believe that all developers, big and small, deserve a chance at success in Augusta, Georgia. Meet Alex Winfrey of Outside the Box Investors and Winfrey Homes. Alex has been working in Marion Homes, and here are his thoughts on the value of the Augusta, Georgia Land Bank Authority.
I'm Alex Winfrey with Outside the Box Investors. We're a local development company here in Augusta, Georgia. We develop infill lots here in Augusta, trying to bring back the communities that are so broken down and dilapidated. We're standing here at 517 DuPont Street, where one of our projects is a multifamily unit. It's actually a duplex. Took on this lot maybe like 3 years ago, and tried to come up with the right size, right fit for the property. Along the way, we end up finding out about the land bank and looking at the properties that are around it, and noticed that the land bank own a couple of properties. So we started on our venture to acquire those properties through the land bank. The construction company that's actually building this project is Winfrey Homes, which is an in-house construction company, a family-owned construction company. We created that company also about 3 years ago in light of making sure that we have full control as a developer and also as a builder of our projects to put out the best product for the community that we see fit. So every home that we build is built as if we're going to live in it. Every duplex, every multifamily home, we feel like we should move in it, but unfortunately we can't. But we want to give that same experience to all of our people that are renting or either buying from us. So the way the process went with me trying to acquire the properties first, had to gain some understanding of who the land bank was and how to utilize them. When you say land bank, you just think about, like money in the bank, but also land in the bank. So we had to find the key players, which was Sean Edwards. Scheduled a meeting with him. Once we scheduled a meeting with him, we kind of shared our ideas of what we had planned to do with particularly this duplex and what it would look like to acquire the adjoining parcel with it. I think at first it was kind of all over the place. So Mr. Edwards, he was able to kind of give us some information and some education on what would make a little bit more sense of how to gain the access to the properties, meaning that having a company to acquire it instead of acquiring your personal name, if you're going to do multiple units. Also, he also gave us information on what it would look like to purchase it, meaning like putting a down payment on it, waiting the time for the city to do their due diligence and making sure that the property was free and clear for us to get it. And sometimes those processes can be very simple, meaning that the land bank already owns the property, so they're able to take your money, put it towards the property, and close on the deal, or either take your money and then go and do the due diligence, like I said, the closing, the liens, whatever it is on the property that is holding the property up from being sold. With this particular property, they had a lot of things on it, so it took a little bit longer than expected to get the property. I just didn't purchase one property, I purchased two properties, so we had both of them going at the same time, which was kind of a long process. They were good about updating me and letting me know about the process where they are. Unfortunately, I was a little antsy about getting the property a little earlier, but that's the process. I would say that they did a good job about letting me know the process as we went along to help calm my nerves, so I appreciate that. The team there is phenomenal. They are very happy. They constantly responding back. I send emails, they respond back. I haven't had an experience where I didn't get an answer from anybody, which is great because as a developer, you deal on limited time and you make decisions real time. So as much information you can get when you send it out and receive back helps us make better decisions. We're almost finished this property, which is great because now as we finish the property, we're going to be gaining the next property, which is 519 DuPont, and help us continue on with our journey with developing. Things I wish I would have known as being a new developer, trying to buy land and fund my deals and use the land bank as a resource. I think first of all, I would seriously just have a serious conversation with the land bank and see how my vision aligns with theirs. I think that'll be the first step. Before I spend any money, before I do anything else, if I have an idea, I would say pitch it to the land bank and see if that's a route that you can go. Because developing is a lot of upfront money and a lot of time up front. Starting off on the right foot is going to be so important. I think also having vision. Vision is what brought this to life. This once was a thriving single-family home neighborhood. Now we're able to come in and put multi-family units in here. So when you're looking at that, having the right information and the right vision will lead you to great success. I cannot overstate how much it is, how important it is to speak and talk with the land bank about your ideas to be able to accomplish the goal that you want using the land bank. So I would say have patience. Stay in constant contact and have faith that your project is going to come through. And remember, all this is based off vision and energy. You go into the land bank, you give them good energy, and you fight for it because you're not only fighting with, not only dealing with the land bank, you're dealing with the city. The city also is looking to grow. As a developer, you're looking at how to grow not just one parcel, but how you grow an area, also develop a city. And that's the vision that we take as outside the box investors, as a family-owned business. We all bring our ideas to the table to help grow the city, and we want to utilize the land bank to also help us do that. First of all, I want to say thank you to the Land Bank for even suggesting that we speak on their behalf and promote them. We appreciate the partnership that we gain from them, and the time and the patience that they have with me, with the ideas and with the company, and taking the late phone calls, taking the emails. We really appreciate that. But just on the ending note, I would say, once again, if you're an aspiring developer, if you're a builder that wants to get into developing, or an investor, all this is on you. You got to fight for it. I think if you can understand how to make the money and where the money is, you can understand how to do the deals. So don't let a no stop you in the process, or don't let a setback stop you in this process. There's tons of land out there. There's always some way to come up with a vision to build something on a piece of property, the best use of that property. Going forward, we plan on still continuing partnering with bigger deals with the land bank, more parcels, building more properties to help bring back Augusta, to bring back the communities, and also show people that it can be done. Like I said, my company is Outside the Box Investors. We're a development company. We also have an in-house construction company, Winfrey Homes. Look us up on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. We appreciate all the support from the city. Thank you to the commissioners. Thank you to the tax commissioners. Thank you to the land bank. Thank you to the mayor. Everybody has come out and seen this property out here, and I've been amazed. We thank you so much for your support, because on another note, that's what we need. We do need support. We do need positivity. We need people rooting for us. So we thank you, and we root for you.
The Augusta Land Bank is one of the oldest land banks in Georgia, with a birth year of 1996. Most people are unaware of the advantages and benefits of a land bank. Check out this testimonial from local investor and realtor Stephanie Clark, where she explains her journey to working with the Augusta Land Bank. Stephanie says, I started off working a pretty demanding schedule from 5:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m., 7 days a week. I knew that if I had the chance, I would change that. I'd invest. I had this practical plan in my head, like an active retirement program. I thought, I'll invest in tax lien properties, buy one house a year, and in 5 to 10 years, I'd have a comfortable lifestyle for myself and my family over that period of time. At the time, I didn't know about all the unconventional ways to invest in real estate. I wasn't even aware of land bank investing, so I stuck with tax lien investing. One day, a friend called. They wanted to invest. We would have to wait 1 year for my tax lien property, so I decided to look into the land bank opportunities. I found the ugliest house in a decent neighborhood, and that is how I started. I took everything I learned and got to work, used friends and relationships, and it turned into a collaborative project that we all got excited about. At the end, I realized the real power in this process was seeing how bringing a blighted property back to life could really revitalize the entire community. The neighbors were supportive and didn't want a vacant house next door, no empty house with kids and people accessing it. The buyer was very excited. Honestly, we all walked away with a great experience. It was a win for everyone, and that's how I got hooked. I saw the potential, not just for personal gain, but for positively impacting the community. Stephanie is one of our favorite land bank success stories. She shows us how well the land bank can work if you're willing to use it as a strategic tool for investing. These are just a few of our success stories. We've worked with Jackson Drumgoole, founder and CEO of Bridge Builder Communities, and successfully transferred the land for Augusta's first tiny home project dedicated to youth aging out of foster care.
What we discovered was when I came back to the city of Augusta, to have a conversation with every agency in the city. And I said, hey, I did a community stakeholder whiteboard session. This was probably October of 22.
Okay.
And I said, I put a call out for the city. I said, whoever's impacted by the success and the failure of young adults who've aged out of care,
okay,
I'd like to have you in this room.
Okay.
Right. In that room, you had then the president of Augusta Tech, Dr. Jermaine Worrell.
Mm-hmm.
You had Ian Mercer in the room. You had several of our commissioners in the room. Our sex trafficking task force was in the room. Social services folks were in the room. Had about 67 to 70 individuals, decision makers in the city of Augusta in the room. A couple of realtors are in the room as well. And for 4 hours, I cast the vision. Mm-hmm. Well, for the first 30 minutes, I cast the vision. Here's the problem. Here's what I believe the issue is. Here's what I believe the solution is. How can we whiteboard this thing? what can we do as a city of Augusta? The land bank was in the room that day.
Yep.
And I shared with them, we need some space.
Shout out, Sean.
Shout out to Sean Edwards. I had his first time meeting Sean Edwards.
Okay.
And that was the first day. And as he started articulating some of the solutions to the problems that I was saying, he was like, well, okay, how much land do you need? Because at the time, the tiny house ordinance was just being crafted.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we were working with Jordan Johnson and the planning and zoning folks. And it was just, honestly, it was right on the precipice. And so Sean said, hey, I think we can find you some land because we have several parks here in the city of Augusta that we can no longer manage. They're in the land bank. Come give us a proposal. Show us what you're going to do. And if it's sustainable, you can buy the land from us.
Yep.
We've worked with builders to revitalize the Old Town community, and we work with so many other investors and community advocates looking to develop and elevate Augusta. If you're interested in learning more about the Augusta Land Bank, give us a call at 706-849-3737 or email us at kimara.jones@aglba.org.